The Boston Celtics just made a statement. They just blew out the Dallas Mavericks in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And don't be fooled by this score. Yes, this was the final score after the Maverick starters were taken out with 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. The Celtics had a 20-point lead for about 70% of this ball game. Kristaps Porzingis is back. Sam Hauser and his three-point shooting is back. Jayson Tatum continues to be dominant off ball. Jaylen Brown continues to drive. There are several pros that came with Game 1. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Here is our reactions to the blowout dominant win that the Celtics just proved not only to themselves, not only to the Western Conference, but to everybody out there. They're here to not mess around. With that being said, join us on our Banner 18 journey. We are live for every Celtics game this postseason, and hopefully there's only 3 more left. The Celtics take Game 1, and according to ESPN, there is a 70% chance that the winners of Game 1 go on to win the NBA Finals. Hit that sub button for me. Thank you guys, all of you guys that did subscribe during our live show. We gained 1,000 subscribers. Be sure to keep hitting that sub button and join us on our journey to Banner 18. Can we get a hallelujah?
I mean, where else do we start?
For this man,
Where else do we start?
Kristaps Porzingis. Golf clap, if you will. A golf clap for Kristaps Porzingis. My God, he didn't start, Smitty. He didn't start. He came off the bench. But the aggression, he missed it. You could see how he played. He was a blocking machine. He was scoring from downtown. He was moving. The first play that he had, when Tatum tried to hit him on the inside, and he was a beat too late, ended up knocking out of bounds. I'm thinking, oh,
Is
man.
he a step slow?
Oh, God, here we go again. And then after that, you would think, if you didn't know any better, you would think he had never had an injury. The switches, the blocks, the aggression, the shots. Everything. Chef's kiss, Smitty. Chef's kiss.
Is there anything? You can't say a bad thing.
What else do you say?
I mean, maybe the fact that he just wasn't as effective offensively there in the second half.
Oh, but whatever.
Like, he already changed the game. It was 5 minutes in when he came into the ball game, and he essentially flipped it on its head.
I see what you mean. He had 18 points in the first half.
18 points in the first half.
And he finished with 20. So I do see what you say there. I feel that as well. But he had the game high up until halftime, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he was doing the damn thing.
I think, Kristaps Porzingis may never play a half of basketball like that in his career, but I'm so glad he gave it to us tonight. Hopefully he can give us 75% of what happened there in that first half, because it was unbelievable. He was shooting over defenders, and these weren't just like shots where, it was Muggsy Bogues out there defending Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, it was big, strong players, and he was just shooting over the top, whether it was Luka, whether it was Jaden Hardy, whether it was Josh Green. It didn't matter. He was taking advantage of the mismatches, and he was making difficult shots, heavily contested, over these players. I loved what I saw from Kristaps Porzingis tonight. If he could do it again, we're going to win the title. If he plays like this, we're going to win the title.
But I'll tell you who has done it again and continues to do it over and over and over again is Jaylen Brown.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'll tell you what, man, he deserved the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, without a doubt. But Jaylen Brown has been the absolute difference maker for the Boston Celtics in this postseason. 22 points, which he was the second leading scorer on the Celtics at halftime with 13 points, 6 boards, 2 assists. He had multiple steals, and he still is being so effective from the field. We know Tatum's three-point shot has kind of filtered in and out throughout the postseason, but Brown from the 3, I'll take it whether it follows or not. I've seen games where he's 1 for 8. I've seen games where he's 7 for 9. But the field goal percentage is consistently there, Smith.
Yep. The definition of consistency all postseason long, you're getting your 20 from Jaylen Brown minimum in every single game, and it's probably on pretty high efficiency. He's shooting over 50% in the postseason right now. Whether he's available in transition, being a part of a trap that comes into a steal, and he's out and running for a wide open dunk, nobody around him. If he's hitting a shot at the top of the key, he shot well from 3. A little, I can't say he shot too well from 3, but he was good enough. He was hitting difficult shots. He was playing physical defense on Luka Doncic. I know Luka had 30, but he worked for every bucket he got,
physical.
And Jaylen Brown was a big part of that.
He's constantly moving off the switches. There was no point where I was like, ooh, Brown got beat. He was constantly giving his best in the physicality that he provides, because no, he may not be the same physical attributes that Tatum does give every night, but Brown will give the same type of aggression. And not to say Tatum didn't have a good game, because Tatum is the reason why he's the conductor, right?
Yeah.
He's the conductor.
He's the reason why it's so easy
moves
for
the
everybody.
train.
Yeah.
He moves the train. He is averaging a double-double in the postseason, and without that, the Celtics are not where they are. So no. And Tatum said this before this game. He said, everybody expect me to have 35 every single night. I do so much outside of scoring
There's so much
that
else.
it's almost impossible for him to put up 35.
You're right.
When you've got 20 from KP, 22 from Jaylen Brown, 16 is perfect. Why? Because he tacks on 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and then when you also add another 15 points from Derrick White and 5 assists from him as well, which welcome back Derrick White, shall we say.
Guys,
My goodness.
Well, are we going to apologize for having a good basketball team? There were 7 players in double figures tonight. We're stacked. Sorry, Brad Stevens is a good GM. Al Horford, 10 points, 50% shooting, 40 from 3.
Well, this is what I was talking about at the end of the game.
What are we supposed to do?
This is what the Mavericks do. They play strong side defense, right? So they'll do that double team. They'll start to find your top player, which is fine, but good luck trying to find that top scorer for the Celtics, because while it may have been Jaylen Brown tonight, it could be Derrick White on Sunday. It could be Holiday on Wednesday. It could be Tatum on Friday.
Yep.
Good luck playing strong side defense. We've seen this from the beginning. When it comes to statistics, the Celtics are just better.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Yes, Tatum shot poorly from the field, but pretty good from the 3 tonight. We haven't seen that all series. The Mavericks seemed to guard him. Everybody had eyes on Jayson Tatum in a way that they had one of the bigs, like whether it be Lively, Gafford, P.J. Washington out on the perimeter on Jayson Tatum, but every other defender had their eyes locked on him, and that just gave him the ability to make easy dump-off passes. Defenses collapsed on him when he drove in the lane, and he could give it off to a Porzingis, to a Drew Holiday, who's always available down there, to a Derrick White, to a Jaylen Brown. It didn't matter. Jayson Tatum is the reason that it is so easy for everybody else to play at such a high level.
No, and you got to give credit to the court vision, the basketball IQ, the Missoula ball as well. He was the better coach in this ball game, going up against Jason Kidd, which is a nod I will not give that frequently.
Shout out Sam Hauser, by the way.
Shout out Sam Hauser, scoring almost double digits off the bench as well. So we're going to break down the team stats here, but this is not the end of the series.
Not even close.
But why don't we just bask in it just for a moment, shall we?
We gotta
because
enjoy
I
things,
think
right?
Celtics fans deserve it.
Job's
along
not even
the
close
journey.
to finish. We got to enjoy it.
What's the journey if you don't enjoy it? The Celtics dominate in Game 1 and take a 1-0 lead. Spam your shams in the comment section below. Show your Boston Celtics that you've got their back, because the media might not tomorrow. We need to show it to them on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. So let's talk about that team matchup in just a moment. But first things first, let me tell you about Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. I'm playing Prize Picks every single game day. Here's why you guys should too. Number 1, it's super easy. All you guys have to do is just pick more or less. That's it on a player's projected stats, and you're locked in. You're ready to go. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members, and even when the finals are over, the hoops action doesn't stop on Prize Picks. You got the WNBA, you've got MLB, you've got NFL coming up here, college sports also rolling back in, League of Legends, Call of Duties. There's everything for the sports fan. Here are my Prize Picks for tonight. I did have Jayson Tatum having more than half a point. I had Luka having less than 31.5 points, and he had 30, but KP only had 2 made threes. Ugh, I'll give it to him, whatever, since he was just so fabulous. I can't be mad at him. But here are my Prize Picks. This is why you guys play. Download the app today, Prize Picks, and just use promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. I promise it is that easy to watch yourself win some real money in real time. So go on ahead and play right now. Test your skills and join 5 million people on Prize Picks, the app. All right, so when we were coming into this ball game, you looked at the stats from the regular season, which I know people don't take it into account, but the Celtics dominated the Mavericks in every single category. Tonight, we said this in our keys to victory. Does not matter the margin. You have to out-rebound the Dallas Mavericks to beat them. And they did exactly that.
They did.
By only 5. But here's the #1 thing that I love that the box score won't show you is that the amount of aggression and how many times they fought to make sure the Mavericks did not get a second chance. That was huge. And that goes alongside those rebounds to make sure that they do not have another opportunity to put that back in. I loved it every single minute, Smith.
Yeah, the Celtics, the way that they team rebounded today was fantastic. Everybody was getting in on the action. You even saw Peyton Pritchard and Drew Holiday and Derrick White, the backcourt members, all crashing the glass, fighting, throwing things away. I mean, Al Horford coming in and saving the basketball, and then Drew Holiday coming in and throwing it off of Kyrie's leg or whichever Maverick it was. Just the effort plays were there for Boston tonight, and it shows when you get to the end of the ball game and you're winning by 20 that Mavs got to take 5 guys out with 5 minutes left. This stat, by the way, stuck out to me crazy. Do you see a single digit right there? We made the Mavs play iso ball all night, and that's all the people have been saying about the Boston Celtics. Oh, they just play one-on-one. Oh, they just play one-on-one.
Whoa.
9 assists for the Mavs tonight. Yes, I will say, before we overreact, the Mavs had a lot of good open looks, and those were off of driving kicks, finding somebody in the corner. But they didn't hit the shots. At the end of the day, they were out of rhythm.
Wow.
We made them play iso basketball.
You have 1 assist from P.J. Washington. One from Gafford. 2 from Irving. 1 from Luka. Yeah. None from Derrick Jones Jr. And then you had 4 off the bench from Kleber, from Derek Lively, Hardy, and Exum, who played 5 minutes.
Yeah, these guys. Yeah. So
wow.
They really had 7 assists total in the whole game.
Yeah. When you don't factor in those last 5 minutes, yeah.
I think you're glossing over a little bit. Luka only having 1. Luka had 1 dime. They made it difficult on him.
So I will point this out. And Jeffrey Cooperstein came into our studio here in the middle of our live stream. And go back to the Maverick stats here, because I guarantee you they will not shoot 25% from the three-point line again. Kyrie Irving will not let that happen. So bask in it now, but I do see the Mavericks will strive to at least make it above 40% in Game 2 from the three-point line.
Is Kyrie ever going to play like this again?
No, that was not his game. Not his game at all. And there are still possibly Game 2, Game 5, Game 7, 3 more games left in TD Garden where Kyrie Irving has been known to have at least one performance that's like a watch out for that man. So 12 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, and 0 for 5 from the three-point line.
I will say both teams took fairly good care of the basketball.
Yeah.
12 turnovers for Boston compared to 11 for the Mavericks, and I think they actually I think they doubled that. They basically did the whole thing, 5 in the first half, 6 in the second half for the Mavs, and then 6 in the first half, 6 in the second half for Celtics.
Yeah.
Tatum had 6 turnovers in the first half, kept it clean the rest of the way. So I loved what I saw there. I don't think Kyrie will ever play like this again, though, and I don't think Luka will ever finish maybe with less than 41 points, rebounds, and assists. This is how crazy he dominates the game.
His line has been like 55 the
entire
postseason.
This is way under what he's projected to affect the game statistically.
But I do want to make a point here that, yes, we may never see this stat line from the Mavericks again, but do not take this as they had a bad night. This was the Celtics stopping them.
We're also not going to act like the Celtics didn't have this. They had this otherworldly night. They shot 47%, 38 for 3. That's good. That's good.
And
that's good for Boston.
We may see buzzer beaters for all the games left in this series, but do not get it twisted. The Celtics forced this stat sheet.
Yep.
They did. That was an aggressive game, and I loved every minute of it. So with that being said, we are going to be live tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. We're going to be live for Game 2 as well. But Game 2 is going to be a very different ball game. What do these Celtics need to change for Game 2? Go ahead and comment it down below, because while it was the prettiest game I've seen from the Celtics in the postseason, it wasn't perfect. Comment down below. While you guys are at it, hit that sub button for me. Like I said,